Hi, I'm Demi Utley, the founder here at Utley Strategies, and today I'm going to talk to you about what types of questions you should be asking before you hire a proposal company to help you with your proposals. I do just want to note that, of course, every organization has different needs. So these are just a few of the most common questions that I see that I think could be helpful to many organizations as you're trying to evaluate different companies to figure out who is the best to support you in your project. So let's talk about a few of the questions that I see. The first one is, what industries do you support? So some companies specialize in certain industries, whereas others do not. So for example, if you are responding to, say, a federal RFP, then you might want to work with a company that specializes in the federal space. That's a really huge area, and I personally would recommend for federal getting someone who's done federal in the past. A lot of other industries are a little simpler in that the RFPs have more specific instructions or they're not as competitive or complex as some of these federal opportunities. So in that case, you might not need that specific industry experience. That being said, something like having, state and local government experience is really helpful if you are responding in those spaces, or if you are working on a specific type of industry and it's a really competitive opportunity, then having someone who has done that in the past is going to help you to create a more competitive and engaging proposal. Another question you want to make sure you ask is, what is your pricing model? So there are typically three main ways that companies will price for proposal support. One is charging an hourly rate. Another is having a fixed fee project rate. And then the third is commission. So hourly rates are exactly what they sound like, where they have a set hourly fee and then they bill you for however many hours they spent on the project. Fixed fee projects are where they will scope out the project ahead of time to determine how much it's going to, like how much energy it's going to take for that company. And then they'll quote you a fee. So you just know exactly what you're going to pay upfront versus having to say, oh, we think it'll be, 30 to 40 hours or something like that. And then commission models mean that if you work on the proposal together and if you win, then they take a cut of whatever the win is for that contract. In most cases, if it's a commission-based project, they are doing some sort of combination. So they might have a fixed fee plus a commission or an hourly rate plus a commission. So figure out what makes sense for you based on your company and your goals. Some companies really like the idea of having some sort of commission because that means there's more of an incentive. Other companies don't want to have to worry about paying out a company out of the win. They want to be able to just use their current budget to pay for the services. So it really depends on your approach and what it is that you're looking for. Another important question to ask is, what is your experience with proposal writing, especially if it's RFPs? So there are a lot of companies and proposal writers and freelancers out there offering support to help you create proposals or respond to RFPs. And you want to make sure that they have the real expertise that can help you win. So that means you want to make sure that you're finding someone who has formal training for proposal writing and they're not learning through trial and error while supporting clients. Because if that's the case, then your project might be one of the trials that they're taking, and you don't want to be the guinea pig when you're, responding to a $5 million RFP or something even larger. You want to make sure that they know exactly what they're doing and they're going to be able to help you win because they've done this before. So that's always an important question to ask, just to make sure that they are a proposal expert and they didn't just kind of fall into this and just start going through and seeing what worked and what didn't. The last question I'll leave you with today is, you can ask if they've ever responded to a specific contract or a specific agency if you are working on a particular opportunity and you want to make sure that they have expertise in that space. So this isn't necessary for, I would say, the vast majority of RFPs. If you've worked in a certain industry, then you probably can respond to any RFP in that industry. However, there are really big national contracts or even statewide contracts that come up to bid every few years, and it's always the same companies bidding on them, and they have certain things that they're looking for. So in those cases, they're normally the really big ones, like several $1 billion or hundreds of millions or something like that. So if that's something you're responding to, then working with a company who has responded and ideally won those contracts in the past is going to help you to really have a good, sound, competitive strategy versus hiring someone who has never even heard of it, and this is a really huge contract, they might not know the nuances of that particular buyer that are essential to actually winning. So that's something that I would strongly recommend asking if you're working on a specific type of contract or a specific, a very specific contract for a specific agency. Okay, so that's all that I have today for a few questions to ask before you hire a proposal company. Of course, we do offer different types of proposal support here at Utley Strategies, so I've linked to a few of our offerings below. We do take on a very limited amount of proposal clients each month, so if you have a proposal or an RFP you'd like help with, make sure you reach out to get your spot lined up sooner because we might not have a spot available whenever it is time for that RFP to come out. We also help with training and process and helping you to create your content library or develop a strategy or even just reviewing and providing feedback on your proposals so you know how you can improve in the future. So I've linked to our trainings and our offerings below this video, but if you have any questions, feel free to comment below or email me at hello@utleystrategies.com. That's all that I have for you today, so make sure you subscribe for future videos and I will see you next time.